Hello everyone, so today we're going to be talking about the Fire and Blood stream recap. So the stream went live yesterday at like my 2 a.m, which was, ungodly hour. So thank you for Dark over here for posting this on Reddit. It has helped me a lot. It's like a TLDR of all the important stuff. And I'm going to be breaking down my thoughts about each of these new things that they announced during the stream. And, the stuff that's actually important. So first of all, we've got Ransacked Treasury. This dungeon, it's okay. It's a really mech heavy. So just, it's not going to be like Drowning Deeps. You're not just going to go in with pure DPS, just stun KD or whatever, and just beat the crap out of it. And also keep in mind that on this Ransacked Treasury, you will not be able to use your Dragon Bloods. They're quite specific on that. So, there's no cheese strategy for this dungeon since we can't pick up our 2 Dragon Bloods. And then the next one over here is there's the Imperial Mark. So this dungeon has a chance of dropping the Imperial Mark. The Imperial Mark is basically the same thing as the Transcendence Engine from Irontech Fortress or Irontech Forge or whatever it's called, IF. But when this drops, you can basically exchange it into a Hepta Obsidian by converting this with 20 sea glass. You can see here, there's a merchant. You bring this and 20 sea glass, and then you can get your Hepta Obsidian of an element of your choice. Other than that, there's the Kordrax Layer or whatever. So, they're being really flexible compared to the Korean server, the Chinese server, Taiwanese server, They're opening it at 5 times a day, and it's like every day, which is really good. It's going to be a very simple thing. There's a little icon's going to pop up on like the bottom right of your screen, and you're going to like where your inventory is and your bag and all of that stuff. And then you're going to click on it, and it's going to send you directly to the raid point, okay? So you're just going to be in like this lobby looking place, and you're just going to wait until people appear there. And there's like a 10-minute waiting time. When this time limit has run out, the dungeon will open, or the raid will open, and then you can go forth and kill the boss. They give you 50 minutes, which is more than enough time to kill the boss, and it's relatively easy because there's a mechanic that boosts your DPS. So basically these little snowflakes are going to fall down from the sky, from these icicles, and then when you pick them up you get stronger, and you keep stacking them. You stack the I think they're like called snowballs or something. You stack 10 of them, and then you get a snowflake buff. And then after you stack that up to 5 times, and it gives you insane DPS, like some ungodly amount of DPS. So technically, one person can carry. So even if you go in there with like, you get trapped, and you have like 11 people baleful ones, you're still going to be able to beat the dungeon relatively easy. It's just going to be, it's just going to take a little bit longer. However, there's a benefit of being trapped with a bunch of these low-level people. The main benefit is you're going to be top DPS. So whoever gets the last hit on the boss and whoever deals the highest DPS, they both get like a extra treasure chest thingy. And so when you get these treasure chests, they're going to give you this currency, this little flaming leaf, autumn leaf looking thingamajig. So, you can use these to exchange it for the costume, for the hexagonal garnet, or the pet, EXP charms, Hive Queen wings, or raven feathers. So I recommend people, if you want the costume, go for the costume. The pet is very meh. I'm not a big fan of the pet. The EXP charms, maybe if you're in dire need of levels, of home moon levels, in order to unlock like your speed boost, or to unlock your like the movement speed or the threat skills or the whatever, then you can go for it. But what I personally am going to be spending most of my points are on the Hive Queen wings, because I need a ton of these because I'm currently progressing my way through Vortex Temple. If you're slightly more behind and you're on Raven weapons, you might want to do Raven Feathers. And you can do this 5 times a day. Keep in mind, you do not get locked out from this dungeon just by completing it once. You can do it every single time. The only difference is you're not going to get the daily reward, but you're still going to get the dungeon reward. The active, or the whatever reward it's called. Dynamic? I think it's called dynamic. The dynamic reward. So there's that. As for the gem itself, this is not really that good. I don't recommend anyone getting it. It's unless you just want to have it there. But it doesn't really do much. And yeah, here are the costumes. This is the male costume, female costume, and here is the pet. They're very, not a big fan of them. Okay, moving on. So next up we have Legend Mode. So Legend Mode, they even say here already, only available temporary. It's like, it's as if they knew it's gonna fail. But I mean, the good thing about this is it's probably not gonna take very long. You know, you're just fighting each other. And so it is, quote unquote, a good way to farm bravery coins if you need bravery coins. Because bravery coins are gonna become very, very, very useful when the patch hits. So if you've wasted your bravery coins like me on pet pods already, you can use this method to farm up bravery coins. But yeah, so basically Legend Mode, as I said before in my previous video, is you just play as Master Hong, Poharan, Jin Soyeon, and well, what's his face? Young Sang. And then you just beat the crap out of each other. It's very silly. And then we've got a new event coming in, which lasts for 3 weeks. So this event, basically, you get this new currency, and you get 3 of them from doing your daily challenge. You get 6 of them from doing your weeklies, and you're gonna get 1 every day from just no, you're gonna get the bonus from the chest. So basically, what happens is there's gonna be a quote-unquote bonus dungeon that you need to do or you can do in order to get the chest. So there are 2 chests. There's the Fortune Favors chest. So this one gives you 4 to 6 favor tokens. It's, you know, it's guaranteed 4, maybe 6. Or you can go, you know, pure YOLO, and then you go for the Lucky Loot chest. So this one gives 1 to 10. Again, it's all RNG. So what you really want to do for these chests is just get a ton of these favor tokens. Why? Because you need these favor tokens at the vendor. We can see over here. At the vendor, with these tokens, you can exchange it for this outfit, which I really don't care about. You need 200 of them for a sacred oil, or you can even get soul shield pieces, which is actually really good. So for, you know, you can get Vortex Temple, you can get Raven, and you can get MSP. So, you know, MSP, you don't really need that. Raven, maybe, if you're still stuck and you're not able to do Black Tower yet, Raven Soul Shields is a very good choice. And Vortex Temples is quite expensive. It's 155 of these tokens. So, you know, it's a little bit iffy. And then over here, you can also get Hive Queen Hearts, Raven King Souls, and, you know, more wings and Raven Feathers. I would not bother with any of these except for maybe the Hive Queen Hearts. And then as for these, I might consider either going the Pet Pack or maybe a Soul Shield, depending on your situation right now. So why do I say it's kind of iffy for the Soul Shields? It's mainly because of this. Look, when you get the Soul Shield, it's a RNG chance to get piece 1 to 8. It's not guaranteed you're gonna get a Soul Shield. When you open it, it's guaranteed 1 to 3 Hive Queen wings, but it doesn't guarantee you to get the actual Soul Shield. And look at the cost over here. The cost for this is 155 of these tokens. It's an absurd amount. Because, you know, if you do all your dailies, look, if we can calculate here. So we get 3 tokens from your daily challenge. So we're going to do that for 1 week. We're going to get 21 tokens, right? Then we're going to get 6 from our weeklies. And then the rest is all based on the RNG box. So, you know, if we're super unlucky, knowing me, we're going to get 4 on all of the RNG boxes, okay? So now I'm going to bring out my calculator, or my phone. And then I'm going to calculate this for you, because my math sucks. So we're gonna do 4, multiply that by 7, so that's 28, plus 6, so that's 34, plus 21, because, you know, 3 tokens multiplied by 7 is 21, right? So we're gonna get 55 in 1 week. That is, if you log on every day, do your daily challenge, do the bonus dungeon, and do your weeklies, okay? So you're gonna get 55. You're gonna multiply this by 3, because 3 weeks, so that's 165. You're only going to get 165 of these tokens if you do everything, basically. And look, 165, what is that going to get you? 1, you're not going to be able to buy the sacred oil. It costs 200. You have 165 here. You're probably going to be able to buy 1 Fallen Soul Shield. So it's kind of like, okay. So that is this event. Another thing is the confidence buff is added to normal modes on a lot of dungeons. If you remember from before, confidence buff basically gives you more AP and less damage taken from bosses and minions and everything. And the nice thing about it, it used to do confidence buff was only applied on Desolate Tomb, Ebondrake Citadel, and below. However, now it's applied to all the dungeons except for the new one, the Ransacked Treasury. So from Drowning Deeps all the way across, you're going to get this confidence buff, which means we're all going to be doing more damage basically. So we can kill stuff faster, we take less damage, and it's all good. Very nice. So now moving on, we have system changes. So we're going to get the Lin ears and tails, which is great. We're gonna get the new hairstyles for all races and genders. I saw that there's like one new hairstyle that sort of interests me. It's like a ponytail one on the males. But, you know, other than that, you guys can experiment yourself. I don't know. We're gonna get the Lin Gunslinger, which is great. We're gonna get the cost reductions on the legendary jewels and elements. The octagonal obsidian is added. And over here, we're getting the December Korean skill patch. So this doesn't look like much on paper. However, when you click on it and go into the BNS tree, so we're getting the December patch into, in the March 21st update, which is extremely, extremely big. Why? Because it changes a whole bunch of things. First of all, we're going to scroll down here. So, Gunslinger, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to be covering two classes. I'm going to be covering Gunslinger and I'm going to be covering Summoner. Mainly because those are the two classes I play and the only classes I care about at the moment. I'm going to edit that out. But, so the Gunslinger. So the Gunslinger, your one, used to block only 180 degrees in front of you. Now it's 360. So when you're doing Vortex Temple and there's an orb coming behind you, you can just press 1 and it doesn't matter which way you face and it's going to block the orb. It's amazing. Another thing that's really good is your knock up. When you stun a target and then you want to aerial them, you want to launch them into the air, it used to be left mouse button, which was the reload button. They changed that. Now it's C. You press C and then boom, you knock them up. So this for Black Tower third boss, the generals, is going to be much, much, much easier to do your knock up. So your unload for Fire Gunner is your F skill. So, when you get your burst bullets and you press F and you stand still and get animation locked, they decrease the base damage from 12.5 to 11.5. However, if you later on when we look down, we look at the Raven weapon changes, if we look at the your Mystic badge changes, and if you look at your Soul Shield changes, even though they nerfed your base damage, everything else is getting amped for unload. You're just gonna become a god with unload. So I'll talk about that later when I go down. Okay, so another thing for Fire Gunner, there's a lot of talk right now saying like, oh, Fire Gunner got nerfed, oh, Shadow Gunner got nerfed, blah 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 blah. But people are not actually being specific and saying like what exactly got nerfed. So for Fire Gunner, their Tombstone got nerfed, which is your tab skill. So, they changed it so that you don't burst as hard. Your initial damage is not as insane anymore. However, they buffed your unload skill by a lot. So even though, you lost your Tombstone ability, your initial burst, but you gain a lot more sustained damage. So I like this change. The main reason is because I play on high ping. And I could never pull off 5 Tombstones to begin with anyway. So in my point of view, this isn't a nerf for me. This is actually a buff because I could never achieve that much high potential burst with the ping that I play in. But now in order to use your tab skill, you actually need to use Crossfire, which is your 4 skill. You press 4, you'll tag a target. The target will have a little symbol on their head, meaning that, oh, you can use Tombstone on that specific target. But only that target. You can't hit anyone else with Tombstone except for the target that you marked. And this mark only lasts for 8 seconds, I think? No, it lasts for 10 seconds. So when you tag a target with your 4 skill, it'll tag them for 10 seconds, and you have 10 seconds to do your regular 5 rotation Tombstone on that single target. However, if you try to Tombstone on another target or change a target, it won't work. You won't be able to Tombstone them. So that's why people are like, oh my gosh, it's a nerf. Because First of all, it's only 10 seconds. So with 10 seconds, if you have high ping like myself, you're gonna struggle to pull off 4 tombstones. Like right now, we can't pull off 5, but 4 tombstones we're relatively comfortable. But with this new change coming in, I'm probably only gonna pull off 3 tombstones, to be perfectly honest. However, the patch after this is changing it. They're increasing the time from 10 seconds to 12 seconds. That way, you know, it's back to the regular time. You can pull off 4 rotations easily. And for people who could pull off 5 rotations easily, it's going to be the same for you. But that is the main change for Gunner. Other than that, it's your alpha call. You have like a new alpha call. Instead of resetting everyone's big spells, you can have like a short time limit where everyone has unlimited tab escapes. But like no one would ever use that in a PvE situation. You would only use this in a PvP situation. Another thing is we're going to scroll back up to the summoner. So skill changes for the summoner is your backstep, which is your SS. So basically, your SS for Summoner used to be a 1-second iframe, while everyone else in the entire world of Blade and Soul had 1.5 seconds. So it was kind of really unfair. But now they changed it, so they gave the Summoner 1.5 seconds iframe like everyone else when you SS, which is good, thank goodness. And then they also increased the Petal Storm when you use, for Wind Summoners, when you use your Petal Storm toss, it now generates 4 focus per hit. This is another big change. So, you know, as a lot of you guys know, Wind Summoners are always focus starved. So with this change, we're going to have less focus problems. We're still going to have a lot of focus problems, but we're going to have less. So Mystic Badges, again, a lot of changes. However, I'm only going to cover the Summoner and the Gunner. So again, here, Summoner. So over here, we used to go for the Enigma Mystic Badge, mainly because we wanted more focus, because we all classes, you know, all summoners, no matter if you're Earth or you're Wind, you had focus problems. So, you know, we went the Enigma Badge because it gave us, gave us 6 focus over 3 seconds. They're buffing that. Now we're going to get 10 focus over 5 seconds. So, you know, we're going to get more focus, but it's over a longer period of time. So I don't know if this change is good or not. I've never actually used this badge on the Chinese or the Taiwanese server, so I don't know. And then, however, what is interesting for summoners is down here. Your Sky Rift Mystic Badge and your Pulse Mystic Badge. These two are the ones that you guys should be looking at. Why? Because if you're an Earth Summoner, your main damage comes from Weed Whack. So, you know, they're changing it so that the Sky Rift Mystic Badge, Weed Whack gives users Sky Rift effect for 6 seconds. So when you have the Sky Rift effect, your Sunflowers are going to deal 140% of your attack power as additional damage when it is active. So it's effectively giving you more damage for your Sunflowers. So for Earth Summoners, highly recommend you to go Sky Rift Mystic Badge. If you, just go this badge. You'll do so much more damage. If you're a Wind Summoner, you're going to go the Pulse Mystic Badge, because Doom and Bloom gives the user Pulse Effect for 6 seconds. So when you get this Pulse Effect, Rumblebees deal 70% of attack power as additional damage when Pulse Effect is active. And the main reason why you want to go with the Doom and Bloom one is because with your 3-piece Black Tower, you're going to get 30% cooldown on your Doom and Bloom. So you're going to basically, it's almost a new Bracelet effect. So for both classes, respectively, if you're Earth Summoner, get the Sky Rift. If you're a Wind Summoner, go the Pulse. You're effectively getting double Bracelet procs, okay? So it's going to be really nice for your DPS. So Summoners are going to do very nice damage. So another big change is the Dynasty Mystic Badge and the Ransacked Mystic Badge. So these are your Vortex Temple badges. So it used to be really derpy for the Earth Summoner once you got your Dynasty Mystic Badge, because you had to change like your playstyle totally. But now with the new changes, you don't really need to change your playstyle that much. You can still do exactly the same. You can do the exact same rotation as you've always done, and you're still gonna be able to activate your Dynasty Mystic Badge as whenever it's off cooldown. However, just keep in mind that it's because of these changes that the Earth Summoner went from like 3rd or 4th place in DPS to 2nd place on the Korea server, or even quote-unquote maybe 1st. Debatable between 1st and 2nd place. But Earth Summoners are going to do a lot of damage, especially if you have your Dynasty Mystic Badge. But we're going to talk about the Ransacked Mystic Badge because I personally play a Wind Summoner. So basically what happens is when you cast Petal Storm or Petal Storm Toss, you now get a buff called Tornado Flower. It used to only last for 5 seconds, now it lasts for 6 seconds, 1 second longer, so more DPS. And that covers the Summoner's Mystic Badges. There's nothing else special there. And the Gunslinger, we're going to scroll down to Gunslinger. Basically now, for Fire Gunners, you want to change. You don't want to use the Mystic Badge that increases your Tombstone damage anymore, because they nerfed the crap out of Tombstone. And there's so many variables in order to activate your Tombstone. Now, what you want is you want to switch to the Enigma Soul Badge. Or, no, sorry, Enigma Mystic Badge. The main reason is because with Firefall, it gives you the Enigma effect for 6 seconds, and when the Enigma effect is active, you get 250% attack power as additional damage on your Unload spell. So your Unload spell is your F spell, and then like this goes perfectly with the Aeon Soul Badge. I currently am using the Aeon Soul Badge, so it basically, every time I use an Unload, it's going to lower the cooldown on my Firefall by 1 second. So it, you know, they synchronize with each other really well. The more Firefalls you have, the more Unload damage you do. The more Unloads you do, the faster Firefall cooldown decreases, whatever. The more Firefalls you can cast. You get what I mean. Okay, so for the Shadow Gunner, you can either go Revelation or Pulse Mystic Badge. The nice thing about this is you just get more damage from either your Tombstone or from your Moonshine, depending on which path you go. I think the only determining factor between whether you should go Revelation or Pulse Mystic Badge for Shadow Gunners is based solely on what soul badges you're using. So if you have the one that decreases that gives no chi cost when you use Moonshine, then go Revelation. If you don't have that one, go Pulse, and that's really it. As for the Iransu Mystic Badge and the Dynasty Mystic Badge, unfortunately, Shadow Gunners got nerfed a little bit here. You know, it used to deal 520% of your attack power shadow damage on your auto attacks, Bullet Storms, Unload. However, now they nerfed it, now it's only 450%. Fire Gunners, on the other hand, got nerfed on some aspects, but got buffed on others. For our regular quick shot damage, which is our RMB, that got nerfed a little bit. You know, now it went from 400% to 360, not a big deal. Our Unload damage got buffed again. It went from 600% to 900%. That's 300% increase. That's huge. So, you know, Unload is really, really, really strong now. And then as for our Bullet Storm or our Tombstone skill, it got decreased by 3,240% down to 3,000%. So not that big of a deal. It doesn't really matter too much. Okay, so let's just talk about the Gunslinger Tiger Bracelet. So Tiger Bracelet and Dragon Bracelet, they both got nerfed. They used to last for 18 seconds for the Tiger Bracelet and 12 seconds for the Divine Dragon. However, now they got nerfed. Tiger only lasts for 15 seconds and Divine Dragon only lasts for 10 seconds. And also all the damage got reduced except for Unload, which is why Unload is number 1. Very great, very nice. Again, Fire Gunners really, really want to double down on your Unload skill because it's getting so many buffs across the board. And so basically, your Tiger effect, it gives you 1000% of your attack power as additional damage when your Tiger effect is active. So for the Tiger Bracelet, we know in order to proc it, you use your Scorched Earth, which is your V skill, and then you gain it. Everything else got nerfed across the board, which kind of sucks, but what are you going to do about it? Divine Dragon, on the other hand, is also the same. However, it only lasts for 10 seconds now. So to proc Divine Dragon, you actually have to cast Triple Shot, which is kind of like, So I don't recommend anyone going for Divine Dragon. But I mean, if you're testing stuff or you want to try stuff, go ahead. Then over here, you guys could probably see there's Heaven Bracelet, Earth Bracelet. We're not getting this yet. We have to wait until the next dungeon comes out to get these pretty things. So we're just going to ignore that. We're going to scroll down. So for Soul Shields, I'm going to talk a little bit about Force Master. Just a little bit. I recommend after this change, every Force Master go 8-piece Black Tower. And then you're just going to deal stupid amounts of damage and rip aggro from everyone. And it's going to be great. So Gunslinger over here, they got a few changes. So for the Black Tower Soul Shields, the 3-piece used to give you a 30% increased damage on your Bullet Storm. However, now they're nerfing it, they're toning it back a little bit, and they're only giving you 25%. It's not a big deal since your 3-piece is like, you know, whatever, but it is still a nerf. As for your Stormcaller, which is your Vortex Temple, it's also a, they're also tweaking down the numbers. You know, your Bullet Storm's going to deal less damage by 10%, and your Quick Shot and Dark Shot damage is also going to be decreased by 5%. So these are nerfs across the board for the Gunner. And then there's the Tachyon set, but we're not going to talk about that yet because Twilight Temple's still so far away from us. The weapons, there are huge changes also for the Raven weapons. So these are all the numbers for Raven 9. Raven 9, so we're going to take a quick look at them, and then I'm going to explain why it's so strong. So again, there's the Force Masters here. Basically, your numbers are all increased. You do more damage now, except for Awakened Dragon Call, or Dragon whatever the frick this is. Yeah, I'm just going to ignore that, because I don't want to make a fool out of myself in front of 174 people. So let's talk about the Gunslinger instead, something that I know. So the Raven pistols, when you have Raven 9 as a Gunslinger, your unload is going to deal 620% of your attack power when you get the Raven proc, when the Raven buff thing activates, which is extremely strong. It used to be 420, but now they're buffing it to 620. That's 200% increase. And then however, your Bullet Storm sadly is getting nerfed a little bit. It's not getting nerfed that much though. I mean, it's getting nerfed 75% out of 1,500, so it doesn't really matter. It's you know, put into perspective, it doesn't, no big deal, no changes. However, for the Aransu pistols, so if you have the Aransu pistols, your Quick Shot, which is your RMB damage, is getting nerfed by 20%, and your unload is getting buffed like crazy. It's going from 750% to 1,100%, which is unbelievable. That's crazy. It's insane amounts of unload DPS. And then your Bullet Storm is also getting nerfed a little bit by 200%. So that covers the Gunslinger. There are no changes for Raven weapon on Summoner and all the other classes. It's only Force Master and Gunslinger are getting some buffs and some nerfs. Dungeon changes. So if you looked at the patch preview, it says that they tweaked some heroic dungeons, which are basically, as my stream so kindly told me, it's the 6-man dungeons. So they've made a few really good changes here. So Gloomdraw's Incursion, they removed the second defense point, so you only defend the first point and immediately go and kill the last boss. Grimhorn Wilds, if you ever want to go there for some retarded reason, the Archfiend now spawns faster, but that doesn't affect any of us. Ebondrake Citadel, Zakan no longer backsteps before he does his supersonic spinny move. And then Shattered Mass, the corrupted Black Rams wake up faster. So this is really good if you're farming for Elysian crystals or you're farming for materials. Doing this Shattered Mass with the new changes should save about 1 minute to 2 minutes from each run. MSP, now your gauge thing charges up much faster. So you only have to kill like, I think it's like 5 or 6 mushrooms and then the bar is like full already. So that's nice. This is really important. Awakened Necropolis, they removed 2 of the defense points. You only have to defend 1 point now. So you can solo Awakened Necropolis now, which is amazing. Beastbog, I really don't care. Layer of the Frozen Fang, you don't have to attack the red dummy anymore. The red dummy's gone, deleted. So I don't know how anyone would get stuck on that, but maybe, I don't know, it's gone now. Another thing on Naru Foundry is when you're fighting Ruknar, the moment you kill him, your Ember stacks are immediately removed, as well as the Flame Wall. Sometimes if you kill him too slow, or like during the phase where the Flame Wall spawns, you'd have to dodge the Flame Wall. That's removed now as well. Ebondrake Lair, the duration of the debuffs from the Dark Vicar from the last boss, it used to last 30 seconds per stack. It's going to last a little bit shorter. I think it's like 15 seconds now or something. And then you also take less damage from his skills, which is really nice. Celestial Basin removed most of the status effects used by normal enemies. So I don't know what status effects they had, but because I never farmed Celestial Basin, maybe Esprit might know, but yeah. Naru Sanctum. Naru Sanctum. The Granite Titan will now use his Fury Punch before initiating his special pattern. I never had a problem with this. He's always done his Fury Punch before doing his special attack pattern, but I guess, maybe, whatever. Granite Titan now uses his Fury Punch a bit later. And another thing that's really nice is decrease the health regen of the Augurite. So, you know, the Augurite, whenever you burst him down, he get that one healing globe and you heal like half of his HP. Now he doesn't heal as much, so Deep Wound is not as essential anymore as before. And fixed an issue where Agony would sometimes reset his attack pattern. This didn't bother me because I'm not melee, but if you're a melee class, I understand your pain. Him jumping up and doing that stupid lightning shit over and over is really annoying. Iron Tech Forge also got changed, so there are fewer defensive protocols on Sugun? Whatever his name is, that's the stupid robot that everyone tries to burst the shit out of at the very beginning, but now he only has 3 phases instead of like 4 or 5, I think. Getting hit by Chain Lightning in normal mode from the Iron Monkey no longer kills you. This is gonna save my pre-made group a lot. Hopefully we will have 0 deaths next time. Next over here we have adds during the fight with Young no longer uses Phantom Grip. This is a really nice change. You know, during the phase where he does like a suction attack, he pulls everyone in, you're supposed to stun him, but if you fail the stun, he spawns like his clones, and his clones would just like grab you and like rip you across the map. It's really stupid. So they're just removing that, so that's nice. Tower of Infinity and Trial Arena, basically they're just gonna do less damage to you. Great. Here, skill skins. I don't know if some of you guys might follow Noda. If you've seen Noda's stream in like the past 3 months, you might have noticed that his gunner has like a Christmas theme. Like when he does Firefall, like snow falls down instead, and like everything's all Christmassy. Like all his skills are really, really pretty. So this is a system that they're going to implement soon on the Chinese server. And then so, you know, the NA server, I think this thing is going to come in maybe like a month, maybe 2 or 3 months at latest. So, you know, it's going to be really nice. So basically we get these illusion tomes and you can apply them to your skills in the showroom. So it's going to change all of your skills. But however, you cannot mix and match. However, it's pretty nice, you know. You can just have on the fire gunner, it's really pretty if you have the Christmas one. It's basically all your attacks are really snowy and white and really pretty, and it's really nice. Just trust me on that. This is probably gonna be a cash item. I'm like 100% sure it's gonna be a cash item because everyone's gonna want to look pretty because aesthetics #1. And lastly, but most importantly, is you can now Dragon Pulse in combat. So this is really, really, really big. You know, we used to have the Warlock bug all the time. However, now, no more. It doesn't matter if you're stuck in combat, you can use the Dragon Pulse to get the hell out of there. So that is the Korean patch notes over there. And we're not even done yet. I've been talking for freaking, how long? 40 minutes, guys. 40 minutes non-stop talking, and we still have more to go through. So now let's go on to the Home Moon skill cost changes. This is extremely big as well. We're gonna look, I'm gonna show you the new costs. So bravery coins, save them, save them, save them, save them. Look at this. You're gonna talk to the NPC that is in Mushin's Tower or that is in Zyway, and then you're gonna be able to get your Home Moon pellet. If you need it because your guild didn't craft one for you, you can get it for 7. You can get your books 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these pretty cheap. You're gonna get your Chilling Flame Elixir for 54 coins. You can get your Opals 29, 29, 10. This is insane, 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 insane. You're able to get all your Home Moon skills really, really easy. So, yeah, for people who are holding on to Opals, holding on to Chilling Flame Elixirs, sell them now. If you have some of the extra stuff, the old tokens, you can now change them. So, you know, whoa, that's a lot. Holy crap. Okay, so if you have these tokens, or if you're planning to farm for a lot of bravery coins, go do PvP now and get these tokens. 10 of these tokens, you can get 130 bravery coins. That's a buttload. That's really nice. Yeah, do this now. Yeah. They're implementing a new Duelist Bundle. So the Duelist Bundle, if you already bought the Duelist Bundle from before, don't worry. They're going to let you buy the new one. So just wait for the new one to come out and buy that. It's going to give you a new exclusive skin, and it's also going to give you a ton of bravery coins, I think. I don't know. You know, Jonathan didn't really talk about it. He just says he thinks it's better. So I think it's going to give you bravery coins, or else it's going to be really stupid. And then, so here's the new system. So you can use 10 points of your 10 of your home moon points to unlock, you know, your threat, your health regen, your movement speed, home moon focus, and debuff resistance. So basically, for example, if you're your home moon level 10, you should have 50 points, right? So with 50 points, you can put 10 into movement speed, but you can still unlock your regular stuff here for your offense. Okay, lastly, we're gonna look at the treasure trove stuff, the trove. So we're gonna look through all the items. I'm just gonna tell you which ones I will be going for. So here's the first page. We're gonna skip all of these engravings. We do not give a crap about these engravings. The gilded gems, sure, we'll take both. The Imperial Spirit Stones, sure, we'll take it. Raven stuff, no. Legendary elements and jewels, yes. I guarantee you that 80% of the people that are going to be troving are going to be going for for legendary jewels and legendary elements. I guarantee you that. So yeah, stock up on these, because we're going to need a ton of them when the new bracelet comes out. We're going to need a ton of them for whatever, everything. So there's that. Over here, there's nothing useful except for maybe this costume, the Saving Lace costume. I quite like it. It's pink, it's frilly, it's pretty, it's cute. So I'm probably gonna try to get the Saving Lace costume. All of this other stuff, if you need it, you get it. If you don't, whatever. Next up, there's the Chao Pal. This guy's really derpy. It's just like, it's like a backpack item, and you put it on your back, and there's this stupid Chao Pal, and he drools all over the place. It's really weird. But I mean, if you're into that stuff, sure, go ahead and get that. Nothing else here interests me. Nothing here interests me. It's really, really upsetting that NC West didn't put heptas or octas into the trove for the obsidians. I'm a little bit upset that they only put hexas and pentas. Like, you shouldn't have pentas in there. You should have hexas and you should have heptas, obsidians, in this trove. Like, I understand why you guys don't put octas, because, you know, that's just like, oh, we just come out with the octa gems. But not putting in the hepta obsidian, that's really scummy. But yeah, that's my thoughts there. Moving down here, we can get the Home Moon Golden Revitalizer. This one you can buy on F10. Thank you for the people who told me on the comment section from my previous video. Again, you can get your Opal of Darkness, you can get Corridor Keys, all of this crap I would not get, honestly, because you can get Chilling Flame Elixir with your Bravery coin super easy now, and you Opal of Darkness, blah, screw all of that. Then we scroll down here. I would not get any of this except for maybe the sea glass, if you need sea glass in case you get the material for your hepta obsidian. Down here, Aransu orbs if you need them. Aransu orbs are always useful. Hive Queen hearts, I would definitely get these if you need them. I would stock up on these. Nothing else here. Divine Greystones, if you need Divine Greystones. Sacred Oils, of course. Nope, nothing else here. Scrolling down. And yeah, I don't need any of this stuff, so I'd skip it. Maybe Helion Cores if you need it, but honestly, I think that's a waste. You can get more than enough Helion Cores just playing the game. Then down here, next up is the Kitsune Pet and the Pegasus Pet. These two are actually pretty good. The Pegasus Pet is gigantic. It's stupidly big. So if you want to troll your friends and just be like, haha, make like a really small Lin and have a Pegasus Pet, it'll be like almost the same size as the smallest Lin. It's really stupid, but it looks really funny. So you can mess around with that. The Kitsune Pet is really cute, and if you're going with the new skin, you know, the Ninetales, you could definitely go with the Kitsune Pet, and that looks really cool as well. And then finally down here, you know, obviously premium transformation stones are nice. Nothing else here. Materials if you need them. And lastly, there is the Aransu. This is the cost from Aransu Stage 6 to Stage 9 for endgame people who are still, you know, follow my content. You're gonna need 9 PTSs. You're gonna need 90 of the whatever the majigis you call these. 120 legendary elements. 98 of these, what do you call these? Aransu orbs. 45 of these stupid scales and 900 moonstones. So, you know, it's quite an investment. However, I think the hardest part is going to be the Hive Queen hearts. You need 35 plus 35 plus 35. That's like 100 and something, okay? That's 105. That's a lot of Hive Queen hearts. So if you're troving hard, maybe you should get the Hive Queen hearts. And that covers everything here. Whew. Okay, and ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the patch preview, or no, not patch preview, that's it for the stream recap. There was a lot of stuff to go over again, but you know, it was important to go over all of them. And hopefully it helped you guys, and hope you guys enjoy the video. Please leave a like if you liked it. I worked really hard on this, as my stream can see. I'm like dying. And yeah, subscribe if you like my content. Anyhow, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
What can I say except you're welcome for the heals, the boosts, the